Hi everybody. Today's What Sold video is going to be the items that sold between the 15th of November and the 21st of November. So that third week of November for this year, 2025. We're going to start on Poshmark where we sold one thing. That is crazy. I don't know the last time that we only sold one thing in a whole entire week on Poshmark. The change in the algorithm or the change in the economy, I don't know what it is to blame, but it's been terrible because Poshmark is usually some of our highest sales. That and eBay tends to be pretty close. And we sold a pair of jeans, and that was it. They did sell for $20 and we profited $11 on these. These were just some from my personal collection. So I usually put the cost of goods at about $5 when it's something that I've bought for myself in the past. Usually I don't ever buy anything, well, I don't think I ever buy anything like full retail price unless it's just really inexpensive. Most of my items are thrifted or come secondhand, like from Poshmark and eBay, and I get a little wear out of them and then resell them. And so I will put my cost of goods at being about $5 after I account for if it's like I said, like bought from the thrift store or if it's bought online, usually it's a little more than thrift store pricing, but I get some wear out of it. So I just put it at a $5 cost of goods. Um, I might have dropped that down to four. I think I keep it at five. But anyway, so we profited $11 on this single pair of jeans. Then we will move to, let's do Mercari because we had some decent sales from Mercari, surprisingly. No, don't reset. Okay. Mercari is bad, so I'm not showing the addresses on here. Okay, so we sold this Halo baby sleep sack. I almost took this off to take to the baby consignment sale that we had a couple weeks ago, and I'm glad I didn't because it sold on Mercari for $18. Mercari has super low selling fees, which is really nice. And so we profited I'd say probably about $13 on this, which was really nice. Next is this Torrid dolman top, and it had like a zipper going up the front. It was really lightweight and it was a plus size 1X. It sold for $18. And lastly, this Mercari. Lastly, this cool I'm trying to think of the word, like it's, I guess it's like a woven, it was very like a tapestry feeling pillowcase and it had tassels on the side. I had gotten this probably about 15 years ago. Um, Back when I was in college, which is crazy to think that's been that long. Because I had two chihuahuas and this was really cool. It was like hand done, I guess, or something. And it had the tag with information in it that I included in the listing and it sold for $17. I don't think this is, yeah, it's not Mercury. So our total profit for those three items was $34.40, which is really good for Mercari. And then now we'll go to our eBay solds. Sold this Champions men top. So I'm pretty sure that there were like two vintage men's champion shirts in the size that we had. One was black, one was orange. And so now both of those have sold. Was sold for 13. These are some cookware pots. I guess crock pot must be like a trademark name. So kind of like onesie, like you can't just call the baby bodysuits onesies on eBay. You will get, it's like zeroed. So these are considered cooker sets. Anyway, I had bought these in like a little retail arbitrage moment, and I might do a video about, I think I'm going to do a separate video about how I kind of messed up with those. But these sold for $44.99 right away. These I paid $17 for this year. Last year they had them for $15 for a set of two, and I bought a pack. And I kept the color I wanted and sold the other one on Marketplace for, I think I sold it for like $15. So I ended up getting like all my money back. So it was like mine was free. These this year, those were 17 and I sold them. I didn't realize that they were going to be, I didn't realize that they were going to be able to be sold on, like I didn't think that people were going to be buying them on eBay, and I saw that people were buying them on eBay. So I ended up buying a lot more and putting them online. But I'm going to go into that in a separate video just about these crock pots. But anyway, so these sold for $44.99. Then this is a Vermont Country Store nightgown sold for 45. I actually have to check in a second after this video because I've been having issues with multiple quantity listings and Flip and Poshmark and eBay. I don't know what's really going on with it, but I've had some issues lately with like the the selling site saying that I have certain amounts of items left and me being like, I don't feel like I have that many and trying to double check with Flip and then it shows that like things are sold out or I do have more than it's saying on Poshmark. I don't know. It's just been really kind of confusing. I don't think in the future I want to do multi-quantity listings. I've also tried doing where like I know like on Poshmark, I think that I don't like how multi-quantity works on Poshmark. So like if you were to let's say want to go buy black t-shirts from somebody and they had five black t-shirts and let's say you want to buy two of them on Poshmark from this person, they don't let you put whenever you have multi-quantities the way that you can add it to your bundle or like make an offer is kind of weird and tricky when there's multiple quantities, multiple sizes. It affects how you can like send offers, buy the items, combine shipping. It's not very user friendly. I don't feel this is on Poshmark. So I prefer if possible, if I had a bunch of black t-shirts to list them all separately, it's more work, but then it's more work and it can be tricky because then you're also like you want to make sure that buyers, if they wanted to buy multiple black t-shirts, would happen to see both of those in your store. That's like where it gets kind of weird. Whereas obviously if you have a multi-quantity listing, they would be able to see that you had multiple just by going to that one listing, but I feel like it's just more user friendly to have them separated. So when I had a lot of these Vermont Country Store items or like the Carol items, which are pretty much the same things, it I try to get them into separate listings. So I would just have a lot of new Vermont Country Store floral flannel nightgown large. And then another one that was the exact same thing and another one the exact same thing instead of doing multi-quantity. I felt like that was easier, and then people could just add multiples to their bundles if they wanted to buy more than one. I don't know, but something's gotten just like crazy. I feel like in the interim of like listing these a couple years between a couple years ago to I think last year is when I was adding more of these last winter. And so right now I think I just need to like I need to do some inventorying, I guess is really what's going on. And we have sales have started to pick up, so I do have like a lot less items that I would have to go through. I don't know the last time that I've had just like a full couple days off. Next time I do, I need to do some inventorying because I got to figure out what's going on. The worst thing when you're a seller, I feel like, is selling something and not having it or not knowing where something is. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like the feeling of not being in control of my items. And so I got to get stuff figured out. I'm sorry to go on the rant, but that's just what this reminded me of because this is one of the items I need to check for to see how many we have in stock because I don't feel like numbers are adding up. Anyway, this sold for $45. Then this Vermont Country Store nightgown sold for 30. So you can see that we are selling, these are starting to pick up again. Surprisingly, this was not like a winter one. Like this one is a flannel. It's really thick and heavy. This one's a more like a light cotton nightgown. But I guess also since they're new, some people might be getting these for Christmas gifts. A pair of Aeropostale jeans sold for 26. This was the week before Thanksgiving, so I was not running my Thanksgiving sale yet. However, the following week you will start seeing sales probably with lower prices because starting I want to say I think it was the day before Thanksgiving, I started running my sale. And so that's just kind of like encapsulated like Thanksgiving sale, Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sale. I did it for a week on eBay for Poshmark. I ran it like I think the day before Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. It was really tricky, which I'll go into in the next video, but it was a little bit also not user friendly. This was a Columbia jacket. So I got this from my aunt. She has been kind enough to give me some items over the last few years to sell. I did not know that this jacket, and then there was like a pink jacket as well that was quilted. I did not know they went together. They were both Columbia in the same size and pink, but I just thought they were two different jackets and they could be worn as different jackets. But someone was kind enough to point out to me that they actually, um, like not I guess connected or something. Like you wear one inside the other. It's like it was like a lining or something. Um, anyway, so I had one list. I think they were both listed for like 30 each, and then when the lady told me she was interested in getting both of them because they did happen to go together, I felt kind of silly and I checked the comps for a complete set. Um, like this with the lining, and they went for about $35. So I asked her if that would be fine if I just updated the price for this, and I put her username there so she would be the one, kind of like hopefully the only one who would buy it. And I just told her I'd send it out together, and she said yeah. So it sold for 35, and cost of goods being zero since family member gave it to me to sell. And last thing was another Vermont country store nightgown, and that was a 2X and it sold for $40. And it's just like that pink one that was really lightweight. So our total profit on eBay was $140.90, making our total profit for that week $186.30. That is so nice. I did forget to mention with Poshmark with that $11 profit, that was 10 cents lower than the one week that we had in June. And it was the lowest Poshmark week of the year. Um, I don't know. That isn't it weird? Like I said, I think it was a lot of that algorithm changing and then what did they change with Poshmark? It was like you can't you're not sharing your party any or to parties anymore. You're not sharing to your likers. You have to share items individually now. So like things aren't really getting shared very often. I guess if you have a sharing bot or whatever, like Flip is, you can use that. But I was having a lot of issues with Flip and sharing, so I'm not really doing that anymore. And a lot of people, including Poshmark, is saying that it's not even helping you to share. So like kind of what's the point? But yeah, $11. So the lowest week of the year for Poshmark. And the second lowest week of the year was back in June. So summer slowdown. And we made 11 cents more. It was $11 or $11.10. The lowest of the year in November is insane. But I can already tell you that's picked back up because the last week was actually really good. So it is what it is. But I hope your sales are going good. And I'm about to hop off of here and do a what sold for the last week in November so we can see how much we made all together. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and I hope you are enjoying December now that's already December. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.